Hello there, my friends. I've been expecting you. You see, I am going to take you on a journey deep into the rabbit hole. Rabbit and GH are waiting for us to start their epic battle. Yes, this will be a journey into a miraculous wonderland. Because this game, I'm sure, is going to be nothing short of a miracle. Join us here on the map. Oh yeah, I was testing out some stuff there on the top. Ignore that. Let's remove that. I was testing out some stuff with new text fonts, and I still have it there at the top. That aside, Rabbit against JH. Joining us on this wondrous adventure. And they're going to show us the wonders of this world. They will be our guides for today. Blue against red. Rabbit against JH. This is hopefully going to be an absolutely epic battle. This will be a long replay. Like, that's one spoiler I'm gonna get out of the way. This is one single replay for this entire video. So you'd be damned well know. You damned well be aware that we're gonna see some cool action. Alright, JH starts off with the gateway first in a corner spawn. Is this a wise choice? I don't know, but he certainly does seem to, of course, always have a plan. So this, of course, is part of a greater plan, a grand design. Whereas Rabbit goes for the non-choke Zerg build order, something he has been liking a lot. Not as of late, but something he liked a lot in 2022 and 2021. This replay is from early 2022 or 2021. Rabbit by now kind of stopped playing 1v1 and mostly plays team games. So I do miss him because his 1v1 was always highly entertaining. He played a lot against 458, JH, Lee Baku, and I wish he played more against Burger Sasu, but he didn't ever really play a lot of games against Burger Sasu. He did in the past, like 2018 and 2019. I should cast some of those replays sometime, because Rabbit against Burger Sasu was very good. But after that, the two didn't really meet that often anymore. They had different streaming schedules, so they kind of always played when the other wasn't. And while on the other hand, JH is, at this point, a retired player. He stopped playing in early 2022, so that's a year and a half ago, and to my knowledge, he has not played a single game ever since. And he was honestly one of the best 1v1 players to walk on planet Earth for fastest map, so I do miss him. I do miss his presence a lot. Anyway, here he comes with the Zealot into Rabbit's base, who's making 6 circlings to try and combat that one single Zealot that's marching into his base. So JH going for the aggressive opener here might pay off because he's now able to build cannons inside of Rabbit's base, and Rabbit might lose the Overlord if he doesn't move it fast enough. But more Zerglings are spawning and speed is on the way. This is a staple of the non-choke build order for a Zerg. Very good drone control, keeps them pretty much alive at all times. He's gonna go to the front to kill the cannon first, while taking a small little risk with his drones in the back, having them fight against Zealots. He's got 6 drones still alive. Zealot is being chased around by Zerglings. And Rabbit there wins the fight in the front, but more Zealots are still coming from across the map. Wins the fight in the back as well, but only 5 drones are still alive. Rabbit is in moderate amounts of trouble, but he does have some counterattack potential. Goes for the surround on the Zealots and the probe. That's all gonna die. That's all gonna die. It's so easy to get surrounds when you have speed on them Zerglings. Is he gonna go for? He's going for drones now. He's not going for the counterattack. His purpose is just to protect himself without Sunkens, but use the Zerglings to fight off those small waves of Zealots and keep his drones in the back alive. He did lose a couple of them at the start. He lost a couple of them at the start. He had 9, went down to 5. But the Zerglings here are doing a pretty good job, but the micro there from JH is trying to get the most out of killing as many Zerglings as he can. Very efficient Zealots. He's gonna win the fight here, is he? Oh yeah, he's gonna win that fight. really good small little stutter stepping there from JH, and this is going to force Rabbit to make new Zerglings or build a Sunken. We're back in JH's base after the 3 gateway opening. He built a Forge and a Gas and a second Nexus. Cybercore is on the way as well. Double can there in the back to protect his probes against Zergling run-bys. So both... Rabbit is playing this by cutting a lot of corners, I gotta admit. Still no Sunken in the back. He's relying only on the Zerglings. Is that going to backfire or is that going to pay off? He does kill another wave of Zealots again. JH there trying to get the most out of it yet again, but more Zealots there coming in. Not sure if this probe pylon is ever really going to finish and build a cannon there, because Zerglings are running about. And JH keeps losing his Zealots. So not sure that's ever really going to get a lot of results. He builds a second pylon in the middle. Because the pylon in the front, probably gonna die. He lets it finish though. Not sure if he should have cancelled it or let it finish. Zealots are coming in to try and stop that from dying, but nope, it is gone. So now his job is to protect the pylon in the middle, but once again gets surrounded by a large wave of Zerglings. A lot of Zerglings will die, but more Zealots will die, and it all pays off yet again. So Rabbit is pretty much just the Zergling man at this point, going for great surrounds on the Zealots. He gets a really good position for his Zealots. They're behind a probe, but there's simply too many Zerglings to fight into. Loses his army yet again. So Rabbit now, so far, displaying a really good game, recovering from that early harassment, building more hatcheries, getting a lair, getting a Sunken in the front, has a high-lisk den, getting high-lisk speed, 28 drones. He's droning up really hard now. Rabbit knows he has repelled enough of JH's Zealot attacks and he can now afford to drone up for a little while. But JH is still building Zealots. He's got 5 gateways, robotics as well, with a support bay finished and a Reaver on the way. Shielded in the air, level 1 attack on the way, and Zealot speed as well. I like what JH is doing. He does have triple gas, which might be a little bit too much. As you can see, he's floating a fair amount of gas. But there is another Forge on the way, so it's going to be double upgrades coming in very soon. Supply keeps growing. Does not yet have double supply of Rabbit though, and I don't think he will anytime soon. Rabbit now building more. Okay, he's got double supply. I lied. He's got double supply now. I mean, in a Zerg against Protoss, you can always expect the Protoss to at least hit double supply at some point. It's very normal. It pretty much always happens. So we got Sunkens there being morphed to get a little bit more protection for this very vulnerable backside that needs, as you can see, a lot of protection, specifically against Zealots and soon Reavers as well. The shuttle with the Reaver is flying across the map. We got a Spire on the way. Hylists are finishing up just on time. Very good Evo chamber there on the side to make sure that the Zealots cannot run into the backside and see the Spire or attack the drones. So Rabbit there is going through every single motion required to protect himself against possible angles of attack by JH. Zealots are coming into the backside though. This is a weak side. Definitely the unprotected side, and the Reaver shuttle is getting closer. Drones are running the safety. Will a couple of them die? Scarab is on the chase. Scarab gets stuck between the lair and the hatchery. Does not kill anything except one single drone that was not hotkeyed. And of course a couple more of them hide. Oh, very close call there. If the Reaver unloaded right here while the drones were returning, at least 12 would have died. At least 12 of them drones would have died. Close call. But Rabbit stays in the race, and JH has to return to the drawing board and hatch a couple of new plans on how to deal with Rabbit's rapidly advancing economy and base. His army's growing bigger, supply growing bigger. Rabbit is looking pretty healthy. He's got vision on the sides with overlords, got mulisks in the sky that are great against cannons warping in, and great against Zealots. JH is going to have to return back home at some point, because if more mulisks are on the way, he doesn't have anything at the moment that can really fight back against those mulisks. He's building Dragoons now. Has no Stargate yet, building another big group of gateways. 61 probes. His probe production is pretty much been non-stop. Very consistent probe production. Shuttle gets found out. Reaver unloads, but the Reaver is now stuck in the middle. With mulisks in the sky, goodbye. It's time for another try. So he's going to stay on the middle. He was trying to set up a double attack with Dragoons and Zealots arriving in this position and the shuttle arriving at the same time to go for a corner attack just like earlier and try to hit those drones again. But Rabbit here is on fire. He's on absolute fire. Supply is growing rapidly. 40 to 50 drones. And Mulisks are killing a lot of stuff here on the middle. Although he might be overreaching a little. No, he returns. He leaves the scene of the crime just on time. So he can go back home and dine on his economy. Because the economy is growing bigger. Getting, is it hatcheries? Queen's Nest, double hatchery, triple hatchery. Killing the pilot in the front. We have level 1 attack there for JH. Getting level 1 armor, level 2 weapon actually. Getting Singularity charged because he didn't have it yet. Getting Storm as well. Yeah, JH invested a lot of money into early aggression. And he was aggressive. He did a lot of stuff with Zealots. But Rabbit handled it all like an absolute masterclass. It was a masterclass in dealing with Zealot aggression from an aggressive Protoss on a triple gateway build order. Without a choke, without Sunkens. His Sunkens came in very late, and the amount of Mulisk he's got has grown into 2 groups. This is gonna be 9, and here we've got 10. So yeah, about 19 of them. Soon gonna be, oh, he's got more here back at home. He's got over 21 Mulisks in the sky. So the skies are unsafe at the moment. We got Dragoons marching forward, but only 4 of them are alive there with the group of Zealots. JH is going for an attack, but there's so many Mulisks that I don't think... Maybe he just needs to open up supply space. Maybe that's the idea here. Just throw away that supply, kill some stuff, like some Sunkens, maybe something else. Just try to get something out of it, but he changed his mind. He's losing a lot of Zealots to those Mulisks. Going to the middle, oh, it's a little bit of an overextend, loses 2 Mulisks there in that exchange with the cannons. Flew over, was looking for something, found nothing of significance, and redirected to the bottom side there while growing here back at home, getting a hive. So 4 hatcheries on the side and 6 in the back. 10 hatcheries in total. Lost a couple of Sunkens in the front, but now he has lurkers as well to help him protect himself and stay alive. We got robots on the way in the middle, shuttles on the way as well, getting scarab damage, getting Kandarian Amulet and Observer Speed. So he's preparing Observers because he knows lurkers are on the way. He saw the lurkers earlier, he saw them morphing right here. So he knows to prepare for the invisible burrowed lurker. Yeah, now JH coming to clear out these terrorists in the sky while a drop flies through and almost arrives on location, but gets sniped just in time, gets sniffed out by the Overlord detection system surrounding Rabbit's base. The Observer has not yet arrived, it's still in production. It's a slow push forward, it's a painful one. He's taking a lot of lurker spines to the face. But the Storms are doing their job. Slowly pushing forward, but losing some Dragoons and Zealots in the process. Not a very clean push, but it's getting some results, which is what matters. And he's got so many, well, I wanted to say a lot of gateways, but it's 9, 5. So we have 14 gateways at the moment on the map. He's largely occupied with building here on the middle. We might see a lot of gateways on the middle like they do in the Western style of Protoss against Zerg. Is just throw 20 to 40 gateways on the middle and just keep on attacking non-stop through the front door. He's breaking through. Observer is there on the top side. It's very far removed from his army, but there's no lurks at the moment, so he doesn't need the Observer. A second one arrives on the scene. He made a pretty big push forward here. Pretty big push forward through the entire line of Sunkens there in the front. It's no longer a choke. It's a wide open entrance right into Rabbit's base, but supply counts are evening up. JH is losing Dragoons and Zealots very rapidly. His Observers are getting sniped as well by the Mulisks, and now Rabbit is on a slight little pushback to chase down the Dragoons while rebuilding his lurkers, rebuilding his line of Sunkens, and remaxing his supply. He is a little bit low on gas, so he's got, yes, 5 gas mining at the moment. He's getting 2 more for 7, might get 3 more for 10 later on. Very good production here from JH. There's not a lot of gateways, as I said before, Not a lot of gateways, but he's producing non-stop. He's adding on a couple more of them. He really wants to transition into a large Reaver robotics army. Maybe even some drops. He hasn't managed to really land a drop. He got one shuttle close with the Reaver once. Got a shut off, but didn't really explode on anything of significance. After that, Rabbit has been airtight. The skies have been under his control. And look at the amount of sunkless and spores morphing all at the same time. It lurks in between. This is a danger zone. We're going to be watching a very hard-fought battle by both players to control this section of the map. JH wants to push through and get a foothold with Reavers, Dragoons, and Templars, whereas Rabbit wants to push JH out of his base and get Lurker, Sunken Spore, Guardians, everything there in the front. Drop comes in, gets sniped yet again. He can't quite find an angle to fly in from because we have Hydralisks everywhere spread about around the base. We got more hatcheries coming up on the top there, triple hatchery on the top. We have one Evo chamber actually, but we do have a pretty good amount of upgrades. Level 2 attack already there on the Hydras. As for JH, we're on 202, and we got level 3 attack on the way, level 1 shield, and air armor also on the way to make those shuttles a little bit harder to kill. There's currently no armor, they're easy to kill with the Hydras. So Zell's coming in, and they die quickly. They do take some Sunkens and Hydralisks with them, and their sacrifice is not in vain, but they do not achieve a whole lot. But that's something you can afford to do in fastest map. It's okay to not afford a whole lot with a lot of supply, because you can rebuild it really quickly. Finds an angle, but oh, Hydralisks in between, forced to unload, storms at the Hydralisks, but does not really kill anything. JH has a difficult task ahead of him, because I think Rabbit is probably one of the best defensive Zerg players in the entire world. He plays a different kind of Zerg compared to Burger Sasu, who relies a whole lot more on Hydralisk defense. Rabbit really likes the Mulalisk, Sunken, Spore, Guardian, Lurker defense. Burger Sasu eventually does transition into the exact same composition, but he likes to counterattack a whole lot more than Rabbit does. Rabbit is a player who will sit around for a little while and build a base that is impenetrable from every single angle. That is Rabbit's playstyle. So once again, frontal push, Reaver, Dragoon, Zealot, trying to break through, but this looks difficult. This looks very difficult. Guardians in the sky in hold position. Sunkens on the ground, Lurkers burrowed up, Spores to push the Observers backwards. It's difficult to get the Observers close when there's Spores protecting the Lurkers from detection. But JH did build a nice little containment around Rabbit. Rabbit, at the moment, he could stop the containment with Guardians, but he's focused on building a stronger base, getting the last 3 gas in order, getting a couple more drones, and rebuilding Sunkens in the front. So far, very strong, solid macro game from both players, where Rabbit is largely focused on very good, precise, smart movements. His map awareness is probably Rabbit's greatest strength. Drops are impossible to get through. He needs some Corsairs to help escort the shuttles through. You really need some Corsairs, maybe bigger shuttle drops. But is he going to? That's the big question. I don't see any... Okay, I see a Stargate now. Built 5 more gateways there back at home, and he built about another 10 there on the middle. He's building another little box of pylons for gateways there on the side. So yeah, we're reaching that point where JH will have 40 gateways on the map. His gas, though, is a little bit low compared to Rabbit, because he's mining from 6 gas at the moment while building a lot of Dragoons, Reavers, and Templars. He has a very high demand for gas. He's got 84 workers. We have 66 drones for Rabbit. He's losing drones pretty much all the time, but it's because he's using them to build Sunken's Spores on the sides. Now this is a good push here from JH. This is a pretty good push. The Guardians got taken down by Storms and finished off by Dragoons. Sunkens are dying to Dragoons. Guardians from the back there, though, we build a new wave of Guardians, and they're pushing to kill this all. The Templars move forward, ready to storm. Great storm placement, gets a pretty good shot there on the group of Guardians. But the Guardians don't die, which is most important. They can still fly out of the storm and then return for the fight a couple seconds after. So yeah, we are having ourselves a pretty much even battle over this exact location. Another observer dies, more lurkers are morphing, one lurker still on the map there on the top. He ran out of storms, I believe. I think he still has a couple more storms in him. He has to storm those eggs, because storms kill those eggs really quickly. Really quickly. Yeah, JH's production is now off the charts, but look at that huge army of lurkers burrowing up. He's waiting for a new observer. Wait, he doesn't have an observer in production, actually. He lost the observer earlier, but did not queue up a new one because his supply is pretty much maxed all the time. So that's something that happens sometimes when you put so many units in every single gateway. You run into a problem where your supply is immediately maxed out after something dies. So you cannot queue up something like an observer. But he's got observers on the way right now. Rabbit bought himself a nice bit of time. The amount of spores on the top is huge. Building 3 more hatcheries. He's going to build spores on the bottom here as well at some point. His gas is growing with the 9 drones on an extractor. Flies on the front, but it's just not going to work. Just not going to get those shuttle drops through, ever. Not without Corsairs. So JH is being a little bit stubborn here. Build the Corsairs. Escort the shuttles in. Hit those drones. At this point, you have to hit Rabbit's economy to make him bleed. Make him bleed money. And make him bleed supply. And then make him bleed out as you kill his Sunkens in the front and push through to the backside. So far though, no Corsairs in production. He's getting a level 1 air attack though, so Corsairs should be coming out sometime soon. Unless he's planning to just get level 1 air attack but never get the Corsairs themselves. Bottom side drop, flies in. Target fires the shuttles, again. Just can't get through. Big push yet again, but the protection from Rabbit is absolutely phenomenal. Guardians are having such an easy time. They're on hold position in the back. He's firing on anything that comes through. When the Sunkens are there as a second line of defense after the Guardians have gotten off a couple of hits on the Dragoons. Very good combination here by Rabbit. Very good defense. Level 1-1 on the sky. Level 1-3 on the ground. Whereas JH is on 3-1-3 on the ground. Observer there, 1-1. And level 1 attack should be all the way. Maybe level 2 attack. And please build a Corsair. He's got the fleet beacon. So he's got some plans in the future. He's got some plans in the near future. So the impressive part about this is that JH usually manages to finish off a Zerg pretty quickly. But this game, from the looks of it, is not gonna end anytime soon. Rabbit has built himself a formidable base, an excellent defense. He's taken it slow. He's growing bigger and stronger. He's really taken it slow. But he's making life extremely difficult for JH. Because how are you going to break through? Well, you're going to break through by hitting the economy. Or by having storms that are so damn good. And production that is so damn high. And the reavers that hit so damn well that you simply outmuscle the Zerg. I've seen it happen at the highest level. Where even without storm drops, the Protoss manages to push through with sheer micro control and production. No storm drops. Storm drops do make things a lot easier if you manage to land them, but it is possible to do without them. But we might have gone beyond the point where it's possible. So there in the front, it gets taken down. Probably was trying to pick something up and fly into the backside, but there's spores in between now as well. So the mutas are flying forward, trying to snipe Reavers and High Templars, but forced to retreat down to the south and towards the Guardians. Level 2 attack for air is on the way. Level 3 armor as well. So his upgrades are in a really good spot. Really good upgrades at the moment. Shuttles once again trying to empty. They're empty. Nothing is inside. 76 drones against 84 probes. JH's gas really is low. He should build another Nexus right here and pull about 9 probes and put them to work right there. Hopefully he's going to do that at some point, because you can see his gas is perpetually low. And when your gas is perpetually low, it might interfere with the production of Reavers and High Templars. Or even your upgrades. Does he have a Storm in there? Yes, he's got a Storm. Storms are the Guardians, but they do move out of the way. A couple more cannons there on the way on side. A couple of them got killed earlier by Guardians. JH is having a really tough time. I've said it many times before, but this is a difficult time. He's building more and more cannons, gonna try to build the containment around Rabbit to be more robust, stronger, a little bit harder to break through, or at least a more lengthy process to break through. JH has always had a really good storming though, really good Templar control. He's really like, the impressive part here is also that Rabbit has not been able to push out. He's been sending waves of Guardians and Hydralisks to protect himself here in the choke. The storms from JH have been so well placed and well timed that the Guardians do die pretty much every single time that they do engage with the Dragoons, the High Templars, the Reavers. You're on the middle. So very well controlled so far. Although he ran out of energy, I guess, so he's gonna lose this little army, but more Templars arrive on the scene. He needs Dragoons, though, there. Dragoons there to finish off the Guardians. The Storms are hitting. Zealots being pulled in. One more Templar in the back. Gets sniped before he can storm. That's a good target fire. That's a good target fire. So yeah, this is the scene of the battle so far. I've been really liking this. I do think JH has been doing a pretty bad job with his shuttle drops. They have not been very well constructed. As I said before, a Corsair would do miracles in breaking through, or at least flying through into the backside. He only has 4 lurkers in the back, so hitting a storm once you unload is possible. It's going to be hard, it's going to be fast, but it's possible for JH to hit a storm. I'd like to see him try another time, again, to land a shuttle drop on that economy. Because as you can see, Rabbit's economy is not very big. He's constantly forced to spend and spend and spend even more minerals on keeping himself alive against the aggression. It's working. He's pushed JH back from around this section right here to this section in the pathway. So he's getting his control over his own choke back. It is hotly contested, but he's making progress. And progress is the one thing that we all want to see happen for either of the two. Progress forward propels the match forward. And again, a small group of Guardians, some Lurkers, and some Hydras pushing forward. Reaver there in the back getting sniped. Templars coming through. Still didn't get his additional gas. He really needs additional gas because he's really burning through his gas rapidly. You can see it in the low amount of Reavers and the low amount of Templars. He needs a higher amount of Reavers and Templars. The Dragoons are eating up all of the gas. Dragoons are great though. Dragoons are awesome. This is a rope pulling contest. You know, a little bit of ground is gained, a little bit of ground is lost. It's a little push and pull and ebb and flow. With two players who are apparently, evidently, equals to each other. This is pretty much on the same level from both sides. Oh, even more Mutalisks. He just keeps on spending. Whenever he has enough money for it, he builds 12 Mutas, and wastes a little bit more for a little bit more gas, and turns them into Guardians, and then sends them out to push into the middle. And he turns around because he knows he needs a little bit more time for the rest of his army to finish. Whereas JH with his Let me just count real quick. 10, 13, 10, 11. So 21 in the middle. 21 on the middle, and at home he has about another 20 gateways. So 40 gateways indeed. It is the 40 gateway army production insanity happening. Oh, wait, this is a good push. This might be the push. This might be the Guardian push that Rabbit needed to leverage himself into a lead over JH. JH feels the need to turn back. Templar in the mix in the back. Templars in the mix. Rabbit is pushing forward, attacking the sides, attacking the choke, but turns around because he sees a lot of High Templar. Well, just one High Templar. A second one arrives as well. A lot of Dragoons in the middle as well there. Spreads out the Guardians. He didn't want his Guardians to be too clumped up. So here's the plan. He's gonna let JH ram his army into the line of Sunkens and Guardians, and then after that, when the supply is gone, he's gonna try to push out. That is my prediction for what he's gonna do next. Because that's what I would do. Maybe what I would do is the wrong choice. Maybe Rabbit is gonna do something else. But that is what I feel is the most logical conclusion. Is let JH kill his army into the Sunkens and then push with the Guardians. Is he gonna do that? Is he? He's pushing the sides with the Guardians. He's sending more Guardians in for an attack move into the middle. A couple of them are still hanging in the back. Hylics are waiting. I think his upgrades are pretty much maxed out now. We're 30 minutes into the game. Upgrades are not yet maxed out. Shield is finishing very soon. Is it level 2 armor for air? I don't know. There's nothing there. It's level 3 armor for the skies. Level 3 shields for everything. Templars, use your storms. Oh yeah, that's happening. Storms are coming in. Dragoons in the back to finish off those low HP Guardians. But look at this, we got like 24 Sunkens in this small little section. Breaking through is very difficult. And now the Hylics are joining the party. Hylics are joining the party. Is it time to move out? We have a Defiler mount. We do not yet have any Defilers though. They would be great. A couple Plagues, a Dark Swarm. A Dark Swarm wouldn't do much because we have Reavers and Zealots. But a Plague would be amazing. More cannons coming in, rebuilding those sides. These two Guardians are still pushing through. Back at home, pretty much nothing is... He built the Nexus, he's gonna get them more gas. JH realized he needs more gas than before. It took him a little while to make the move, but Nexus for 3 more gas. And he's gonna put some probes to work to fill up that gas bank. Then we're gonna have a very gassy game. Very gassy game. More Dragoons, more Reavers, more High Templars. He does have a pretty big group of High Templars, though. 8 of them here on the scene. About 6 Reavers. That's a good healthy group. A good healthy group. But Guardians again morphing. Queens on the sides for ensnares. At this point, getting a shuttle drop in is actually impossible unless you fly in over the front. It's pretty much the only angle still available for a proper drop on the drones. But his bank is growing. 9,000 minerals now. He's reached a point where everything has stabilized. All he's got to do is break free. And oh boy, he wants to break free. As Freddie Mercury once said, I want to break free. He wants to break free from this life, and then I don't know the lyrics anymore. I should know the lyrics, but I don't. It's a travesty. It's a crime that I don't know the entire lyrics to the song by Queen. Mule is coming in, so the Templars die, Dragoons die, and the Mutas come in to sweep the floor with the Reavers. But an Archon in the mix, it's kind of painful for the Mulists. It hits pretty hard. Yeah, this group in the front here is going to die. More Templars have other plans on their mind than dying, though. So storms do come down. Guardian is taking a pretty hard hit, but not enough of them die. He's putting his probes to work. It's happening. He's increasing the gas bank. His entire topside got cleared out. And Overlords are already moving about to get more vision. There might even be a drone in one of them. to build a proxy hatchery and then a Nidus canal somewhere on the map. That's always a viable option, it's a great option. New pylons already being built for new waves of cannons. JH has no plans at all to ever let Rabbit leave the base. It's his base, it's his home, but JH wants it to be Rabbit's prison. This arc of Sunkens, 30 Sunkens in total, how do you break through? Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. You just keep smashing your entire army into a wall and hope that the wall breaks down tiny bits by tiny little bits time and time again. And this is what I was talking about. Proxy hatchery. He opened up a wall, he opened up a hole in this contain, got a drone out, and now he's making a hatchery for a Nidus canal, and at some point he's going to attack from the top side here, which is quite exposed to danger. Does have some pylons against Overlord drops. Overlord drops, not very likely to happen. He's doubling the amount of Sunkens. Like, he's just building them right next to each other now. This is impenetrable. This is impenetrable. As you can see, JH's gas bank is growing larger and larger by the minute. You could argue he's over mining gas a little bit now. He maybe should have done 1 or 2 extra gas, and everything is gone. He's definitely not over mining at all. All the gas, I was talking about his gas being high, and then he spends all of it within a matter of like 5 seconds. The Dragoons there clearing out the bottom side. JH is breaking his brain on how do I break the Rabbit's back? How do I open up his defenses? He's breaking his brain. You can see it in his play. He slowed down a little bit with the frequency of his attacks. I really think trying to get at least a Storm Drop through is still the best course of action. A couple Storm Drops in a row, but he really has given up on Storm Drops completely. He's just completely tunneling on breaking through the front. We have a Nidus Canal on the way on the top, and Sunkens to protect the Nidus. GH does not know this exists. This might become a problem very, very soon. Very, very soon. It will be a problem that will come to bite him. Not bite him. It will come to absolutely stab him in the back, brutally, without mercy. Also, the amount of observers in the front here is absolutely ridiculous. 9 observers. That's 9 supply of observers. It's a lot of observers. If he loses 1, he has another 8. If he loses 2, make it 7. But that, he's going. It's an attack on the top side. It's a backstab attack. JH caught by surprise. How did this happen? How did I let this slip by? How is this happening? Attack from the front. Attack from the top. JH is in trouble. Gateway's dying. Dark Swarms are up. But he's getting a pretty good surround. But he needs an observer on the scene because the lurkers are undetected. Move an observer to the top. But where are the observers? They're right here in the choke point. Guardians pushing through. Cannons dying. Cannons dying everywhere. Rabbit has pulled the trigger. He's arrived at his destination of being too damn big and too damn strong to handle. And JH is in trouble. Now, JH shouldn't be dead yet, but he's certainly contemplating the possibility that he might have to start moldering over the concept of worrying. It is about time to start to worry. Zerglings streaming through. This topside attack is brilliant. It's beautifully executed. It's exactly what he had to do. Observers, he needs them. Oh, he's got them right here. Oh, one is right there. Lurkers burrowing up. Gateways are... The 20 gateways he had in the middle? Gone. Dunzo. Finito. Finished. Erased from existence. And now the robos. 20 robo... I'm not sure how many there are exactly. I count 14 actually. The robots are going to die as well, but he's got Reavers, and the Reavers are awesome against Lurkers, Hylidox, and Zerglings. The Reavers are the saving grace, but the Guardians at the bottom have cleared a path for an Overlord drop, which I'm sure is going to happen sometime soon. Although first, 14 Guardians morphing, 12 Mulisks on the way. He needs Templar Storms, he needs more gateways. He doesn't have a lot of gateways back at home. He's got 9, 5, 5, so 19 is not a lot. It's a healthy amount, but not a lot. He does have, as I said before, 14 robotics facilities, which should be enough to keep him alive against ground attacks. But it's going to be a mass Guardian attack. A lot of Guardians pushing through. And there are not enough storms. Dragoons are great against Guardians, but they do need a surround around the Guardians to be highly effective. Okay, this is surround. This is what I meant. A surround around the Guardians. So yeah, the Dragoons will kill Great Storm. The Guardians are clumped up, got erased within the span of like 10 seconds. On the top, a fight is happening for control over his Nidus base. GH tried to kill it, but there's Sunkens, there's Lurkers, and there's Hylas channeling through the canal from underground tunneling systems, I suppose. And they're pushing, again, Guardians in the front. Hydras as well. From the top side, a couple Hydras, a couple Lurkers. This is Rabbit trying to push through, and this is Rabbit at his best. Lurkers in the pathway. Very good choice. He has to move. There's a lot of things GH has to do right now. Rabbit is not playing. Okay, Rabbit is playing as fast as he can. It's unusual for Rabbit to be 2:30 APM, but he's hitting that point. It's unusual, but he's going there. He's pulling all the stops, going all out. GH is feeling the heat. He's feeling the heat of Rabbit's breath in his neck, as Rabbit is starting to loom over GH, towering over him. A threatening, very threatening presence. Intimidating, to say the least. So the Guardians are pushing through. Yeah, this is looking strong for Rabbit. This is looking problematic for GH. He's pulling cannons from the left towards the right. He's trying to he's trying to rebuild the containment vessel around the radioactive Rabbit, but it's not working. My friends, it's not working. Well, he is winning the fight in the middle now, but another wave of units is already coming across. Mutas in the air to snipe the High Templars or the Reaver. That's one High Templar, make it 2, make it 3, make it 4. Oh, get stormed, make it 5. There's gonna be number 6 as well. All the High Templars dead and gone. It's just Dragoons and Reavers now. And there's so many Guardians, the Dragoons are not gonna be enough to take this down. Well, maybe they are. No, they're not. The Guardians have a really good position. The Dragoons have to move through a small, narrow choke point while the Guardians are firing from across the sky, across the hill, onto everything that moves through this pathway. And another wave of Hydras coming through as well. The topside Nidus Canal base no longer in use. It exists, but it's no longer in use because the entire middle has been broken open. But this position by GH is great. The Reaver shuttle, the Reaver Dragoon on the middle, doing their best to hold the lines, and he's holding the lines. Hydras are just terrible against Reavers. That is historically proven as a fact. But just keep sending waves and waves of Hydralisks, and at some point, the Reavers will not have enough scarabs left in their pockets to keep throwing and throwing and throwing. Target firing Reaver is stuck. There's a Guardian, and the Guardians from the backside. They somehow looped around, and they're now attacking from the other side as well. Cannons are coming in. GH is holding on. It's impressive. He's spending so much. He's spending all of his minerals non-stop, all the time. He's spending so. His bank decreased from 8,000 to 2,000. While having 77 probes, he's rich. But he's not rich anymore. His money is burning rapidly. This fight has turned into an epic one. This fight has turned into a true push and pull, a true ebb and flow that isn't just happening in this choke point, but is happening on the middle now. Rabbit is gaining ground rapidly. Rapidly gaining ground, but GH is holding on highly impressively. Highly impressively. He's doing everything correct, except of course, He forsake the shuttle drops when he should have just kept on trying to get a shuttle drop in there. You should have kept on trying. Never give up on the strength, the power of the shuttle drop. It might just save and win the game in a situation like this. Although Rabbit has a lot of money in the bank. A lot of money in the bank. It might in fact be... I don't want to say it's too late. Because look at this. JH is pushing him back to where he came from. He's gaining ground again, building cannons on the bottom at the same time. JH's multitasking is really good. He's doing a lot of things at the same time. He's producing and building and attacking and storming and whatever else all at the same time. So he's won back the middle, but the middle has not yet been secured by cannons. So there comes a probe to build pylons, to build cannons, and maybe to build a couple more robos. And yeah, I'm not sure how his minerals are this low. Is he just... Well, let me just check. Yeah, this is why his minerals are low. He's putting 5 dragoons into gateways. He's just spamming. Like, he clicks on them and spams like 5 or 6 times to get as many dragoons, high templars, and whatever else in there as he can. So actually, a calm falls over the battlefield. GH has... I spoke too soon. Zerglings coming in from the top side. Mutas from the front. Mutas from the front. Okay, flies in and sees that a lot is happening on the middle. Oh. I did speak too soon after all. I thought the Zerglings were just, you know, kind of useless, but it was a feint. But Dragoon's moving back. Templars as well. He's trying to beat Rabbit to the punch, but Rabbit is here before the Dragoons return to kill all the Overlords. He's gonna start unloading his Hydras. He's unloading close to the probes. He's unloading the lurkers. Does he have a defiler in there? Yes, got one defiler, a lot of lurkers, and he burrows up. Gets all of his units burrowed up and starts the attack on the Nexus. Probes are going down at the worst possible time for JH. A lot of them did run to safety. The Nexus goes down. That Overlord sneak through while attacking in the middle to distract. Beautifully done. JH could not respond in time. It was almost on time. You had to be faster for like 3 or 4 seconds, and that's GG. A very quick and precise end to the game. The Overlord drop, surgically precise, ends his life with one beautifully executed, very close call there at the end. JH is no more. Rabbit has taken us on a tour through his miraculously wonderful Protoss against Zerg and came out on top. And we're gonna give him a pat on the shoulder, because that's ultimately all he's earned. Our respect. Thanks for watching. It was RGB for RJB TV. I hope you enjoyed. It is pretty long Protoss against Zerg. A pretty good one as well. I really enjoyed this one. We saw a lot of great stuff, except shuttle drops. He kind of, you know, didn't really use them too much when he should have. And he did pay the price for that in the end, but the Rabbit played solidly, he played strong, played smart and controlled, and JH almost made the comeback after being pushed halfway across the middle, almost back into his choke. Thank you for watching. This was RGB for RJP TV, and I'm signing out.